Much time now to check in on our movies, and we start with a very highly anticipated movie. Anytime
Absolutely.
we're talking about James Bond and Daniel Craig, people expect it to be good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, his track record has been really good. You know, this is the fourth time Daniel Craig has played James Bond. He's been playing him for 10 years now, but he shows no signs of aging, which is, you know, especially impressive considering that there's so much action in this movie. This requires more from him than any other James Bond movie has before. You know, there's him jumping off of buildings to escape gunfire and chasing down people in his Aston Martin, but you know, there's also a great you know, fight scene inside of a train, which is an homage to From Russia with Love. But there's nothing more impressive than the opening sequence, which is I think ranks up there with one of the best Bond sequences in movie history, in Bond movie history at least. Yeah, but yeah, this stars Daniel Craig, Lea Seydoux, Christoph Waltz, also Ray Fiennes. Bond finds a cryptic message from his past that sends him on a trail to uncover a sinister organization, and while M battles political forces to keep the Secret Service alive, Bond peels back the layers of deceit to reveal the terrible truth about Spectre. So as I said, though, the action is really good here, and this movie in general is good when it's trying to have fun. There's some clever humor here too, as it pokes fun at some of the Bond movie cliches, but when it tries to be something more serious, I think it kind of fails. This movie once again focuses on the dark, traumatic childhood of James Bond, and that's fine, but when it tries to convince us that he's more than a suave and strong secret agent, but he's also a sensitive and complicated a guy with a you know, who's had a tormented past, that's when it fails to connect. You know, it tries to connect the villain with the childhood, and that's just kind of strained. I think Christoph Waltz, who's a two-time Academy Award-winning actor, is just kind of wasted here. He's such a good actor, but the villain just really is very boring. But as I said, there's some really good stuff here too, so it's not bad, it's just uneven, but I'm disappointed to say I can't recommend it in good conscience to say see it in theaters, so I'm going to say rent it.
So safe to say not your favorite of recent Bond movies?
No, it's low on the totem pole for me.
All right. Coming up next, the Peanuts movie, another one that I guess parents would be really excited about, and people who grew up reading
absolutely.
The
I mean, it's so iconic. You know, it's still in newspapers, you know, across the nation. You know, and it came out in 1950, so 65 years later. And also the TV specials are still relevant. You know, they came out a long time ago, won lots of Emmys, and you know, just a few weeks ago I watched one on network TV, and so very iconic. I was worried about this movie because it's hard to take on these characters because they are so iconic. But it's luckily Blue Sky Studios knew what they were doing. First off, they nailed the animation. I was worried about it when I heard that it was you know, computer animated, but they respect the simplicity of the original drawings. They just use this here to fill them out to make them more textured, and so it's beautiful to look at. That's one of the many ways which they try and respect the original. They keep some of the same music, there's some of the same gags, also the same sense of humor, Charlie Brown's self-deprecating sense of humor. I laughed out loud way more than I thought I would in this movie, and you know, 3-year-olds were also laughing too. So you know, you hear the term family film a lot, but this truly is a family film in that you can, you know, 3-year-olds can watch it and enjoy it, and 80-year-olds can. So it's not perfect. I think some of the Snoopy stuff for adults is going to get a little boring, but overall I did really enjoy it, so it's good.
Next one, not quite as well known, probably, Truth.
No, it's kind of being overshadowed by Spotlight, which is another journalism movie. It's kind of the front runner for Best Picture right now, but this is sort of an awards-ish movie. It has Cate Blanchett, Robert Redford, Topher Grace, Dennis Quaid, and Elizabeth Moss, a really good cast. This is about it's a newsroom drama that details the 2004 CBS 60 Minutes report investigating the military record of then President George W. Bush and the subsequent firestorm of criticism which cost anchor Dan Rather and producer Mary Mapes their careers. This is a movie that, you know, I think anytime you call your movie Truth and it's a complicated issue with multiple sides of the story, I think you're going to run into some trouble. You know, this movie is very subjective and one-sided, and you know, I think that it could have used an objective point of view and a little bit stronger of a director. If you don't know the story, it's really engrossing. I still was very entertained by it, but not a great movie, so I would say rent this one.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.